Welcome back to the show, everybody. So you may know our next guest from her role as Alma in The Handmaid's Tale. Just a little show, you know. Now she is starring in a brand new military drama making its debut at the Toronto International Film Festival. It follows the real-life story of Sandra Perron. She is Canada's very first female infantry officer. Take a look.
The famous Captain Perron. I've heard you're one tough cookie.
Since you're the first woman training to be an infantry officer.
Go, go, go!
We all felt that would make you an easy target.
I don't want to stand out, sir.
You're in the view?
You guys think being nice to her is gonna get you laid or something?
Now, is this everything you hoped it would be and more?
Yes, Captain! I should be in a tent with the other trainees weren't. Isolating me sends the wrong message, that I'm not like everyone else.
It's pretty clear that you're not.
Please welcome the star of Outstanding, Nina Kiri. Woo! Sorry. Goodness. Nina, Outstanding is based on a true story. So Sandra Perron's experience as Canada's first female infantry officer. Were you familiar with her story before this?
No, I wasn't. And I think that's why it's also a really important movie, because there are these people who have changed the lives of women after them, including me, who I didn't know about her. And I read her memoir like in the casting process, and I thought I would just be skimming through because I was like, I had just a few days to read it, but it was so good. I could not put it down. It's amazing. The memoir is called Outstanding in the Field, and the movie is based off of it. I would recommend everyone to read it. It's also a page turner, but it's just really illuminating I think it's illuminating for a lot of us people who don't know anything about the military. So I would recommend everyone reads it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you do a phenomenal job in this film. It's just really amazing. When we talk about military films, like I think a lot of us can kind of list a bunch in our head, and they're not typically told from a female perspective or of a female's journey. Maybe G.I. Jane, I guess, and maybe there's some comparisons to be made there. But Sandra said that the experience of sharing her story with the world was both terrifying, but also really healing for her, which you can kind of imagine now. So how did you get into the mindset that it was going to require of you as an actor to do some really harrowing scenes?
Yeah, I think it was twofold to get into the mindset. I think the physical is something people think about right away, like the training aspect and moving past, you know, pain or difficulty within a physical perspective, but I think mentally I had to remember the time that she was in and the place that she's in. Because for me, I can be like, Sandra, why didn't you just tell them? You know, and it's like, well, that's not the situation she was in. It's easy for me to think that now maybe now I could say, I would have done this or this, but really, if you think about it's the late 80s, early 90s, and she's in this institution in which people are supposed to just be the same across the board. And if you stand out, literally outstanding, if you stand out, you are instantly different and targeted. So I think understanding the place and time she was in really helped me situate myself.
It was fascinating to watch because Sandra obviously is this person who came from a military background and had this passion to be in the military. And so it seemed like she was just so fixated on that, she was willing to put up with a whole host of things. She was exposed to sexual harassment, taunting, excessively rough training during this time in the military. For me, it was so harrowing to watch, and yet she exhibited so much bravery. So what does Sandra's story say to you about what courage truly means?
So I think that she was always meant to do this. This was since she was a kid. She was in cadets. She comes from a military family. I don't think it ever occurred to her that she was going to be in a situation in which she isn't allowed to be there. It was just like, this is what I am. This is what I do. So I think she ended up in this situation, and her real courage showed in the way that she continued one foot in front of the other within a situation that was completely against her. And I think courage is continuing when all of these odds are against you. And not only that, to take it a step further for her, I think it was then publishing this book and having the courage to go back to that painful experience so that more people can know and so that it can change for others after her.
Absolutely. This is the stuff about film that it blows my mind. You shot this film in about, what, 25 days? Only 25 days in places across Ontario and in Quebec. So how do you physically, and I guess mentally, get ready for that kind of rigor in your shoot schedule, doing pretty extreme stuff?
Yeah. So I started training physically like a few months before. There was this moment I was like lane swimming, and I was like, I'm gonna stop now. This is normally when I stop doing. And then I was like, Sandra wouldn't have stopped. And I was thinking about like how she talks about in her memoir at one point, just like erasing the feeling in your body of like I need to stop and just keep going. And I felt that as I was swimming, and it felt like the first grain and like inkling of this is what it would feel like, you know? It's just like I'm just gonna erase the discomfort that I feel right now, and I wanna stop and keep going. I mean, that was just a tiny little thing. But then once we started shooting, I think it was just the regimented schedule and eating right, fueling my body and mind so that I could go every day, and that was really helpful. They had a trainer for me, and I think the eating schedule really helped me because I didn't realize how much protein people need. And then that just made it so much easier. I was like, wow, I should do this with every movie because I just like will eat whatever, not think about it. But actually having that regiment was really helpful in terms of energy preserving. Yeah.
We only have about 30 seconds left, but
Okay.
we want to ask you a little bit about The Handmaid's Tale. We mentioned it off the top.
Yeah.
And of course, recently in the news was a potential book ban in Alberta when we found out that Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale made the initial list. Were you surprised? What did you think of that news?
Well, I think it's really sad. I think banning anything, banning anyone from participating in a democracy and like having free speech and airing whatever their opinions may be, that's the beginning of something really scary in any society. Yeah.
Amen to that. Well, Nina, I got to tell you, so much respect for you as an actor in this film. It was really just amazing to watch. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You have to seek this film out. This is a part of the Canadian story. The film is called Out Space Standing. Get it? It's making its premiere September 9th here at the Toronto International Film Festival. It hits theaters not too long from now, September 26th. A must-watch.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.